Friday night. PCS Laundry Live. What's up, PCS fam? And here we are again, week number 12. Right? I think week number 12. I can't count. You guys figured that out the other day for sure when we were counting Chinese restaurants. Week number 12, I think. Somebody check me on that. I'm pretty sure I'm right. We are sitting a block away from the Lexington Laundromat in White Plains, New York, facing away from the federal courthouse because wind is kicking a little bit today, and this is probably a better spot to sit in to not have to deal with that too much, but we'll see how it goes. We got some nice weather tonight, which is uncharacteristic for a Friday night here, and we got a massive storm coming in. It's supposed to hit after midnight, so it could get a little windy. It's starting to pick up a little. Let me know if we're having trouble with that. Not that there's shit I can do about it, but there we go. And we got plenty to talk about tonight, from the obvious to the less than obvious, I guess. The big story of the week, obviously, Attorney General William Barr dropping bombs, and they just don't get it that it's over. Oh, the humanity. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I didn't listen to shit or read anything since he came out the other day with it. Because you don't have to. You just don't have to, because all it's going to be is the unhinged just freaking out, and then they're going to be saying the same shit that they said every other time they lost, which is every time. So I just laid off it, and I just did my memes and had some fun and just kind of basked in it a little bit. And I don't know, man. You know, is it as big a deal? You know, we always get hyped up about this stuff, and a lot of the time it just doesn't amount to what you think it's going to amount to. But it was fun. It was, you know, it's just fun to twist, to watch them twist and flip-flop and you know, turn on people like freaking, you know, they hate Mueller now. They loved him. They were on their knees for the guy for 2 years, and now they don't like Mueller anymore. They turn on him like he was he was Roy Horn and they were white Siberian tigers, for crying out loud. They just go and rip them all apart. But I imagine we're going to spend a lot of time on that today. A couple of other things we wanted to talk about. That Ben Shapiro thing, since it was the most recent thing that popped up on Planet Common Sense, you know, it's a little minor thing. We'll get into that if you want to. Somebody bring it up if you want to bring it. And we can talk about that. It was stupid. Yeah, I'm not going to kill the guy for an opinion, but there's more to it than just that, in my opinion. So we can tap on that if you want to. And anything else you got, toss it out there in the comments. We are going to scroll some, see who's here with us tonight. Brenda Kelly, Lisa Barley Spring. We got Susan Pomp Terry, AJ Hunkley. You're in Florida, if I'm not mistaken now. Congratulations on that. I saw a little frog in your bathroom earlier today. That would have freaked me out a little, but that could have been worse. Where he was sitting in the picture, that could have definitely been a lot worse. But so cool, man. You got a new pet in your new house. Mona Eves is here. Lisa Todd. Linda Bleepnick has been here for all 12. Amy Thomason. Pardon me. Judy Ann. Hi, Glenn from Northwest Arkansas. We got Monatel Abraham. Wednesday PCS Live was fun. We talk about that a little bit too, because I want a little more feedback on that. I want to just clarify a few things about that, what that's all about. Betty Hernandez, I'm glad you're here, because I want to tell you something that I was going to forget probably if I didn't. I would have hit it online over the weekend on the page, but Kaitlyn Olympian, our little Olympian, opened her season. Not everyone is following this. This is some track geekery, but Betty follows it and a couple other people. But little Miss Kaitlyn Olympian, the phenom, opened her spring track season at her home meet in North Rockland High School, New York, running in a 2-mile, and she dropped a 9:53 2-mile for a win, a little over a minute over second place, and just 6 seconds off of her own national high school record for that distance. So she's kicked off her season, and I'll keep you, you know, the few people that are interested, I'll keep you posted on that as we go. There's a backstory to that, and I'll get into that tomorrow when I readdress the comments and whatnot. As always, thank you all for your incredible support of Planet Common Sense. Growth has been great again this week. We had another 150, 200 people. We are creeping up on the 7,000 mark, and they're coming faster and faster and faster. A lot less technical stuff went bad this week, so I think I only had one ban. I got my main profiles coming out of the Facebook gulag on Monday, so that's always a treat. And off we go and see what anybody's got. Susan Levy's here. You're in Florida. Stormin. Mary Gunny, JB Poole, Rick Amato, Nicole, Gaida Kafiro. How are you? How you doing? I gotta message you. I'm glad you're here. Bessie Dotson. We had the biggest technological advancement that we've had in the 3 months that I've been doing PCS Laundry Live occurred today. It came in the mail. And I'm going to show it to you real quick. This came from Bessie Dotson in the mail today. A Zippo lighter. So we are now not going to have to listen to me fumbling with the Bic and stroking that thing 25 times to try and get a spark out of it. So, Bessie, you're a sweetheart. Thank you so much for doing that for me. You certainly didn't have to send a gift, but that was really, really nice of you. So thank you, love. Mwah. All right, so what do we got? Amy Thompson's got something here. They've dropped collusion and now are pressing with obstruction. Okay, and of course we're going to get into that. And I'm going to tell you right now, the answer to it is so what? Who cares? They were going to do something. They're not going to stop, and there's reasons why they're not going to stop. The obvious and sublime. There's a lot of aspects to this whole thing. And it goes back to what I said a couple minutes ago. I'm just not even watching. I don't care what they have to say. It doesn't matter. This shit's over. It's just over. Not that they had any kind of credibility at all since it started. This ridiculous, unhinged left tantrum has been going on for 2.5 years now. Okay? It's a joke, and we all know it's a joke, and we all know it doesn't matter. But there's like things you can break down and look at it too. And I was thinking about this before I came on, and I hope I say it right. There's two big aspects to why you're seeing what you're seeing, in my opinion, of course, and why it's resulting in this. Okay, first of all, there are two types of player involved in this whole thing that are going to be the people that you see reacting to this stuff online. Your politicians, your political figures, your political leaders. I'm not even counting those fucking stupid Hollywood meat puppets, because who gives a shit what they think? Just dance monkeys. We don't care what you think. You got one vote, just like I do. Fuck off. I don't care. But the people who are going to go on the shows, and the people who are going to go on the websites, and the people who are going to be quoted by the news outlets, they fall into two categories, okay? The first category is the people who are just looking to stay out of jail. All right, and we all know that, you know, it's a rogues gallery. You got Hillary, you got Brennan, you got Clapper, you got whoever else. You know the list. I mean, it's the same people as always. They're trying to stay out of prison at this point because that's where this is heading. That's where this is going. And they're just going to say anything, and they're going to deny. If you're thinking that any of these people are going to roll over and say, shit, man, you know what? We surrender. It's not. That's not going to happen. That's unrealistic, and we all know that that's not going to happen. The other type of person is the politician who's trying to stay in office. And they're in a conundrum right now. They're in a real hard spot. It's not that I feel bad for them because they're idiots, but they know. I mean, there's no question that this is over. This game is over. They lost. It's done. But they're in a bind because the fact is, just like I said a couple of minutes ago, how they're turning on Mueller. Any one of these people comes out and says, you know what? It's time to put this to bed. We did what we could. It proved out, you know, it shook out that there was nothing there, and that's what it is. But we got to move on, support this president, and support the country, and just move on. And we'll have another go at it in 2 years in 2020. You know, we're still going to get him. They can't say that. They can't. It's just they can't speak those words, no matter how true it is, no matter how deep they feel it, whether they do or not, you know, because they'll get ripped to shreds by that pack of hyenas in their constituencies. I mean, they can't even say honesty. They can't even live honesty and truth and facts. because they'll get ripped to shreds for it. So that's the whole dynamic behind that. You know, that's where this comes from. They're talking to this herd of sheep, flock of sheep, whatever sheep traveling, and they got to say the right things. Like you can't say the right thing. You have to say the correct thing for the situation, and that's what that's all about. Again, my opinion. And the other aspect of this, and why I'm not even watching the news, and why we all knew what was going to go down and what was going to be said over the aftermath of the Barr bomb, it comes down to the 10 Commandments of unhinged leftism, which has evolved over time, and I got to bring that back up again. I got to go dig it out and repost it. I did it a long time ago, and I know I did it back on the original PCS on WordPress. But and it started out as the 10 Commandments of Democrats, and as they got progressively worse, it became the 10 Commandments of liberals, and then it became the 10 Commandments of unhinged liberals, and then it went to unhinged leftists, and just, you know the whole deal. You know the progression in that. Okay. And it's the first two. And that's what this is all about. And everything comes back to it. Number one, thou shalt never, ever, in a bajillion years, admit thou art wrong about anything, ever. Ever, 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 ever. And then commandment number 2, when thou art wrong, blame the next guy. So that's where we're at. We're going to go, one of these days we'll get to the rest of it. They're just never going to say they were wrong about this shit. They're just not. They're not going to surrender. They're just going to move to the next thing. And if the next thing's not there, which it is because they got the next 10 things lined up already, but if the next thing's not there, they'll make it up. And don't worry about it. It's going to be there. And you're going to have this right through 2020. Trump's going to get reelected. You're going to get another 4. They're going to be trying to impeach him at the next president's inauguration. So just, you know, there's that element. It's so unseemly and just disgusting, and there's no answer for it. And it's just like I said, you just sit back. You know, when this shit happens, you let a couple of days go by. Just don't even bother with the news because it's just a waste of time. You know what they're going to say, and you know what that's all going to be about. So, Amy, I think I got way off what she'd originally said, but they dropped collusion and are now pressing with obstruction. Of course they are. You know, there's nothing there, and they'll run out of gas on that, and they'll just move on to the next thing. So here we go. What else? Scrolling. Brenda L. Kelly, sweetest plum. Watching them eat their own. Oh, it's the best. Gregory Wayne, I read some pretty good stuff. Judicial Watch just got between Bibi and Hillary Clinton. Really? That's interesting. I can't break away and go check that out, obviously, right now, but I'll look into it later, and just tell us a little more about it if you haven't already, because I'm a little behind on the scrolling. Let me catch up on that. Carol Bloss said, best part about reading it was Assange calling Hillary a psychopath. Man, I can't wait till they get him here and have a sit down with him and just put a 6-pack and a bag of pretzels on the table and just let Julian talk. Actually, get him some McDonald's or something. He probably hasn't had Taco Bell in 7 years, so I bet he'd appreciate that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be cool to hear what that guy's got to say. So AJ Hunkley, yeah, man, just here for spring break with the kids. So your Florida house, you didn't move yet, but get those frogs out of there, man. That's kind of creepy having a frog up your crack. Kathy Dozier, Rashida Taliban hunger strike. Yeah, I know, I saw that too, and I paid 10 seconds of attention to it, and the first thought that came to mind was, yeah. Okay, hang on. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm having a little glitch here. I should have answered that. That was my parents calling, my mom or dad calling. I should have answered it in the middle of the show and talked to them on the I don't know how that works, though. I'm afraid I'm going to disconnect, but we'll get back to that later. Sorry about that. Yeah, Rashida Taliban hunger strike. That's going to last until she passes the next Burger King. Because that tubby little terrorist is not going to go on any sort of a hunger strike. It's going to last for any amount of time. That's silly. That's just a joke. You know, go ahead. Go ahead there, Rashida Taliban. Go on a hunger strike. Karen Lannister, hi. Just got here. We haven't really gotten into too much yet. Just me yapping, so you haven't missed a whole lot. We're going to touch on everything again as it comes up in the scrolls. Aubrey Morelli's here. Liz, Palmer McKenzie. We got Lisa Barley Spring. Friend just called. Tornado tore the roof off family's house in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Stay safe, people. Holy cow, that's scary. And those tornadoes, man, that shit just pops up. You can't tell when they're coming. I mean, we don't get them around here. Once in a while, that's scary. We get these nor'easters where, like, the storm, like, pops up over the North Atlantic. It just comes right up the gut of Long Island Sound. And where we are is right in the crux of the western end of Long Island Sound. So those storms come tearing up the Sound, nothing to stop them, and it just gets kind of crazy over here. But, man, if anybody in North Carolina, please be careful and don't go outside or anything, I guess. I don't know. What do you do in a tornado? I guess you go in the basement. So, Amy Thompson, I will say nothing about you stroking it 25 times and trying to get a spark. If I could do that, I'd go live with it. Linda Semmelink Sweeney is calling in from Georgia. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Bessie, you got knocked out. How'd you get knocked out? Like, physically got knocked out? I was going to do... That's funny you said that, because I was going to do a PCS jacked up Glenn fact. That would have been kind of fun and people could have shared it. I don't know if it was going to be that or a Sunday brunch. And the PCS jacked up Glenn fact. This is going to be the first live audio PCS jacked up Glenn fact. In my lifetime, I've been knocked unconscious 3 times. And all 3 of them were by my own hand. So if you can top that, tell me your story, and then I'll tell you mine. So scrolling on. But yeah, tell me how you got knocked out. I'm assuming you didn't get physically knocked out because you're here. So what do you mean you got knocked out? Tell us more about that. Karen Landstrom, Sarah Carter, and John Solomon keep saying shit is going to hit the fan. When do you think this is going to pop? I don't know any more than you do. I read the stuff online just like, I guess maybe I get a little more into it than most people here do because of the nature of what I do. But there's no calling that. And, people have been talking about, sealed indictments, and he's got this, and he's got that. That was Jeff Sessions, and everybody said that for 2 years. Jeff Sessions is coming, and he's going to drop the bomb, and he's got the sealed indictments, and that little Keebler elf didn't do a thing. And he didn't have anything. He didn't pass anything to the next guy. It's kind of like a do-over at this point. You got a better guy in there now, a way better guy. You got a guy who looks like he's on your team. What is he going to do? I guess he has access to his predecessor's information. But who knows what that was? Because if it was worth anything, Sessions would have still been there. And you wouldn't have Barr now doing that. So who knows? We just got to watch day to day. And things change and change and change. Oh, shit. All my comments just this. There we go. I'm still having all sorts of techno tombuckery here. So who would play Comey in the made-for-TV movie? I'm like a working title of the Golden PP Papers. You tell me who's going to play Comey. Because, I already told you guys a long time ago, if I ever hit that Mega Millions, I am absolutely buying the rights to Hillary Clinton's fictional account of the 2016 presidential election, What Happened. And I'm going to make it a rollicking comedy farce. And I'm going to cast David Spade as Hillary Clinton. And I'm going to have her falling downstairs and passing out and spitting in a cup while she's giving speeches and slurring her words. It's going to be hilarious. And I had about a half a dozen other people I cast. We're going to have, it was a shame, and I said this before about other things, that you're going to make me think of a name now, too. Philip Seymour Hoffman is not around to play Steve Bannon, because that was the best one out of all of them. But, yeah, who's going to play who? You guys kick it out and post it and see what you think. JB Poole had that. Who will play Comey in the made-for-TV movie? You know what would have been probably good was Fred Gwynn. Would have been great for him. He's dead, though, I think. And he was probably a little too old. But Fred Gwynn from The Munsters, he would have been great for Comey. And Comey's a big, tall goon. So that would have worked out. Benny Hernandez, can't wait for Obama and Hillary to go to Gitmo along with those minions. Man, I love you, Betty. That's a lofty goal, though. You gotta want that. Yeah. Don't get me started on Hillary. That's the trigger word. You guys, as soon as you say Hillary, you know it sets me off, and I'll go off for 15 minutes yelling and screaming and spitting all over the phone. But It would set an example, no doubt. It would set an example for future presidential scumbaggery to not happen. But I just don't see it going that far. It's a shame. And that doesn't, maybe they're going to go to jail, but going to Gitmo, could you imagine just sending everybody there like that? Well, they've been emptying the prison out, so who knows? Who knows what the future may bring? Okay, we got Amy Thompson again. There's no way this country is going to put its first black president in jail. No way. They will sacrifice a Clinton first, and we all know how untouchable they are. There's a couple of different angles to look at that. As far as Obama representing the black community as the first black president, you got the faction, and this, man, I'm going to be real careful about how they say this, and as to not offend anybody, because that's not my intent. But there's a faction that no matter what the guy did, or no matter what the guy does, or no matter what comes up, they're just not. He's the guy. He's Black Jesus. I mean, he's not. You can't say anything bad about him. But there's also a lot of people who are more reasonable, who look at the facts and who watch the news and are going to watch what comes down over the next couple of months and couple of years. And are those people going to want that guy as the representative? And again, I'm going to say this at the risk of offending, and I seriously don't mean to. That's a shame that was your first black president. If I was a black person, and I don't need to speak for anybody, I'd be embarrassed by that. There's a million people, all right, 1,000 people who are more qualified and better quality people, and just better people in general, who wouldn't commit crimes in office and abuse the office. That could have been that guy. And it's a shame, there's so many different perspectives. It's an interesting take. That's a great question. It's a great point to make. Are they going to put the first black president? I mean, they've never put a president, period, in jail. I don't know. Check me on that. Any historians? I mean, have they ever put a former president in prison before? I don't think they have. So maybe that kind of just negates the fact that he was the first black president, and just makes it the first president ever to go to jail. Again, though, we're talking about lofty goals here. We're talking about dreams. There's a lot of things got to happen before Barack Obama goes to jail. Okay, there's a lot of dominoes got to fall, and a lot of people got to give up a lot of other people. And I still say it's going to be somebody like that idiot Peter Strzok or McCabe, or one of those low-level players, one of the soldiers instead of the capos. They're going to start there, and you get Strzok, and he gives up this one, and then you get that one, and you work your way up the chain. And there's a long way to go before we start getting to the real, the prize game there in your Clintons and in your Obamas and whoever else. So there's a long trail ahead. We talk about this is over. Just this part of it is over. This collusion thing is over and out of the way. Let them dick around with the obstruction. That'll be over in a minute too, and they'll be on to the next thing. It's still a long way from over. So I don't know. We got to just watch it play out. So Mary Gunning, the swamp trash can't stand that an outsider can run the country better than they can, and it's freaking them out. You could see it. They don't know what to do. Nancy Pelosi's head looks like it's going to spin like she's in The Exorcist. And they just don't know what to do. There was a scene, everybody's seen the movie Miracle about the 1980 U.S. hockey team and winning the gold medal in the Olympics. And there was a scene, that was a great movie, by the Kurt Russell nailed Herb Brooks in that movie like I've never seen somebody nail a character before. But there was a scene toward the end of that movie where there was like 2 minutes left in the game, or a minute and a half left in the game, and the U.S. was up, and the crowd was going bananas, and they were just pounding the hell out of the Russians. And it was a point at which a coach would pull a goalie, if you know hockey at all, to put an extra skater on the ice to attack the other team's goal to try and score a goal. And the Russian coach wasn't pulling the goalie. And Herb Brooks turned around to his assistant coach, and he was like laughing. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. And every time I see these people's faces, I'm like, they don't know what to do. They're like the Russian coach. They don't know when to pull a goalie. But it's just crazy. It's so funny and it's so much fun. And we're going to have so much fun with it going forward. You know, like the memes were just falling like rain the last 2 days just because of Barr popping up and saying, hey, nothing happened. Boom, I got a dozen memes out of it. I got 50 more in my head. Some were pretty good this week. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite? Tell me about the memes. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun over the next couple of months. But Dina Van Busker Kane, I hope you're right about Trump 2020. I'm assuming you're saying you hope I'm right about him being reelected. It's going to be a historical landslide. It's going to be like Reagan 84, where like you got, what was it, Wisconsin? No, what was it? What's the state? What was it? Minnesota, the one state in the country that went blue. It's going to be a blowout. I mean, there's nothing they can do. And what's going to make it even sweeter is the whole thing. And it looks like they're really doing this too, which is also great, about just dumping all the illegal immigrants into the sanctuary cities, which are in blue states that are going to be blue anyway. So you got your 20 million new voters that you recruited into the country, and they're all going to vote in states that were going to vote blue anyway, and they're not going to make a difference on the election. I can't see any way that Trump's not going to win in 2020. And if anybody's got an angle that they think, all right, well, this could happen or this could happen, pop it out there. Show, tell us, because what do I know? I'm an idiot talking to a phone on a street corner on a Friday night and running a little half-assed web page. I don't have any insight to any of this. I don't have any knowledge that you don't. So tell me what you think. Tell me if you think there's anything that can trip Trump up. I said back during the election, and I remember a couple people, like I was talking to a few people on Threads. I was just looking at a couple of them a few weeks ago too. We were talking about it, where there were a couple of points where during the election, and it was Kennedy Trump, and I'm saying to myself, you know what, he fucked up. He just blew it. What can he do to blow it between now and 2020? Like, I just don't see, if he just keeps on doing what he's doing and keeps on making things happen. You're looking at facts versus hysteria. That's what you're running here. You're running like fact. Your economy is better. Fact. There are more jobs in this country. Fact. The United States, whether it's kind or not, is getting the respect that it did not have with the 8 years under the previous administration, where we were bowing and scraping and apologizing to everybody. And that doesn't mean they like us. There's a difference between respect and fondness. But respect is more important. And it's like Tony Stark from Iron Man. Why not have both? But respect is more important than them liking us. And we've gotten that. So that's a fact. And that's what he's going to run on. And he doesn't even have to say anything. It's there. All you have to do is just look around at what's going on and you see the platform that Donald Trump is going to run on. Whereas the left don't have anything. The Democrats have nothing to run on except impeaching Donald Trump, which is a failure. Orange man bad. That's the Democratic platform. And you're not going to win an election on that. So the way it sits now in my head, I just can't. I don't know. What could he do? What could he do to blow it? Let me know. That's what I think about 2020, Dina. Catching a scroll. Janet Capania, please repost the Democrat 10. We'll definitely do that. The 10 Commandments of unhinged seditionist leftism. I'll get on that. I'll get that. Oh, I'll do that over the weekend. Sunday, I'm off from work. One of my 6 days a year off. I'll spend the day working on that and getting that back together, updating it. There's probably like 30 or 40 commandments now because they fuck up a lot, so they got to cover for a lot of things. But I'll revamp that and I'll get it posted over the weekend, hopefully on Sunday. Karen Pierce, Trump is one strong dude. I don't know how he does it. I'll tell you what, he's 20 years older than me, and I couldn't work at the pace he works at. And he's not, again, at the risk of upsetting people, he's a tubby guy. He's an older guy. He's not in great shape. He eats McDonald's and Taco Bell and stuff like that. But the guy's like a machine. It's unbelievable. From dusk to dawn. I mean, or whatever, the opposite of dusk to dawn. That was that old stupid movie. Yeah, he's a machine. I don't know how he does it. Hillary would have been dead by now. Hillary trying to, don't get me, I'm not going to go off, I promise. But Hillary working at the pace that Donald Trump is working at would have been dead already. She wouldn't have made it this far. She would have just flatlined, fell down some stairs, knocked her head on a rock, and that would have been the end of it. There's no way she could. And who could? I mean, this guy, he's 72, 71. It's unbelievable. The pace that he works at, and the hours he puts in, and he's just boom, boom, boom. Well, I mean, and the tweets are just gold. I was watching the Rogan was talking about his tweets and talking about just the way he carries, and it was an older episode of Rogan too, and he was showing some clips about, I don't even remember who Trump was talking to. He was speaking before this crowd, and he was talking about dealing with China, and he was saying, there's two ways you could deal with China. You send the messenger over, and the messenger's like, well, we'd like to put a $25 million something tariff on your goods. You can do that one way. And then he says, and then the other way to talk to China, where you say, listen, motherfuckers. And oh, it was hilarious. I gotta look up the clip. I'll put it up on PCS if I can find it. But the guys were dying, and they were just talking about his tweets, and Joe Rogan was like, he's just a naturally funny guy. He is, like, Trump, he's not a comedian, he's not a stand-up, but he's just a naturally funny guy. He says the funniest stuff, and the tweets, I can't wait for those Democratic debates to start, and him to sit there live tweeting the Democratic debates. I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be so much fun. All right, Karen Pierce, yeah, he's a strong guy. He's got a backbone. That's kind of crazy. Moving along, Bessie Dotson, I had to feed the kitties and lost the internet. Okay, so you didn't get knocked out, so I feel a little better about that. I'm glad you didn't get knocked out. Amy Thompson, Samba time. No idea what that means. Explain, please. Sally Hackney, please let them go on a hunger strike. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, Dina Van Busker Kane just messaged Rashida Tlaib, Happy Easter and Passover. How long before I'm blocked? Yeah, you didn't say the wrong words. I mean, Easter's a questionable word. I don't know if you're allowed to say Easter on Twitter or Facebook. You didn't say the M word. You didn't say the T word. You didn't say the I word. So you're probably all right. I don't think you're going to get blocked. Lisa Stansberry, hunger strike for other people. Yeah, that's true. That's the Democratic way. That's the unhinged left. You guys do the hunger strike. That's what socialism is going to be like. It's going to be a government-mandated hunger strike for everybody if that comes about. You know they're not going to go hungry. They're not going to be eating their pets. We are. V. Marie, it's a long one, so let's see what we got. Howdy, everyone. Going to have to mostly miss the show. Back and forth cooking, so just wanted to check in. Hope everyone is well. I had a great week. Okay, so I set that up for but glad you checked in, V. Sorry you're missing the show. Catch the replay later. It'll be up right after I'm done. Liz Palmer McKenzie, tornado watch here, so I'm going in and out. Where are you? Let us know, so people don't know that's coming around. So they can. I've never seen a tornado. Like, that must be crazy. And my instinct, honestly, would be to go outside and watch it. Like, I like watching storms and like sitting on the beach and like watching a storm come in. Like, I always thought, but like I get it. The tornadoes are a little different than that. And they're so unpredictable. But I'd seriously, like, I'd be like hanging out outside, like, all right, it's getting a little closer, like, just to watch it. I've never seen that before. That'd be kind of crazy. JB Poole, admire your determination to go forth on the courage of your convictions. You are the man. If you're talking about me, I don't know exactly what I did, but thank you. If you're not talking about me, tell me who you're talking about so we know what's up with that. All right, so the Ben Shapiro thing, nobody brought that up, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, and I'm only bringing it up because it was like the most current thing before I started tonight, where he said that stuff about, and you guys saw it, or if you didn't see it, scroll back, or somebody posted up here or something like that. Man, he's talking about how Trump did immoral and unethical things and was embarrassed by them, and he got out of being embarrassed by them by doing more unethical, immoral things. All right, so fuck off, Ben Shapiro. Okay, you know what? This is a day where you're a conservative, and I get that that's different than just being a Trump supporter. And there's a faction of conservatism that doesn't like Trump, and some of them have, I get the reasoning, and people are entitled to their opinion. Okay, but you have a little bit of a responsibility that I just don't know that you appreciate or whatever. And I feel, you got 5 million people listening to the things you say. And I will point out that he didn't post it on his page. It was a tweet, and it was retweeted by somebody else and a bunch of other people, and it was posted by another site. And he didn't touch on it on his page. And I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of grime there, because you know what? If you posted that on your page, you're losing 100,000 followers right there. Okay? And I'm not comparing myself to Ben Shapiro with 5 million followers. Okay? I'm creeping up on 7,000. But I get it that I have a little bit of a responsibility. And you're allowed to have your opinion, and I hold that dear. And I state my opinions here too. And they're not always the most popular thing. It's not always the most popular thing. But a lot of the times, I'll preface what I'm going to say by saying, look, this isn't going to be particularly popular, and I'm going to explain why I'm saying it. And I'll take a beating. I'll take a half a dozen people saying fuck off and unfollowing the page in exchange for maintaining my integrity. But the thing is, like I said, I'll preface it, I'll explain it, and I'll support what I'm saying. And this guy just blurted that out on a tweet. And he's got a lot of people following him, and a lot of those people that are following him are just going to take it at face value. And this is, it's just like you're pissing in the punch, man. Like, we're having a fun time with this. Shut the fuck up and sit back and let people just savor it for a minute before you say something like that. I get it. I don't deny you your opinion, and I get what you're saying, and I get what you don't like and what you're talking about. But don't do that on a tweet like it's gospel. Like Ben Shapiro said, bam. Do that on your page, first of all. Have some stones. And do it on your page so everybody can see what you're saying and tell you to fuck yourself if they want to. But for your own benefit as well, do it on your page where you can hash it out, flesh it out, and explain what you're talking about. And tell us some of the things that you're talking about so we maybe have an understanding of what you're talking about. You don't just blurt that shit out, okay? Anyway, that's the be. And again, the other reason I got onto that is because, we were talking about Candace Owens the other day. Oh, hi. Whoop, whoop. You're on TV, dog. We were talking about Candace Owens the other day, and people were kind of misunderstanding a little bit when I said, she's starting to grow on me. And I meant that, as a good thing. I didn't hate Candace Owens. I didn't even really dislike Candace Owens. It's just, some of the, there was a couple of things that I thought were a little questionable. Like, she was doing some kind of, and I meant to go back and look before I talked about this, but and I didn't know I was going to talk about it tonight. Where she something happened, and a minute later, something grimy that she was talking about other people, and then a minute later, she's coming out with a fashion line based on it, and I'm like, hang on a minute, you're kind of new for that, and I want to know more about you, and I want you to develop a little more. And it's not that you're not doing the right things. She was on Rogan the other night too, and she was actually great, and I might post that one too. It's not that I dislike Candace Owens. I did like her from the start, and she's saying great things, and she's a great voice, and she's a great voice for a lot of different. She's a great voice for young people, and she's a great voice for women, and she's a great voice for blacks. And there's a lot of good things about Candace Owens. I didn't hate the girl. I didn't even dislike her. I just want her to season a little bit, and I want her to get a little bit better at what she does before I start really embracing her all the way. But and in the interim, since I said that, I paid a little more attention to her, and she's doing good, and she's doing some good stuff. But this is what I'm talking about. Most of the time when I say something about, and I'm not even going to begin comparing myself to any of these people. It's not like that, so please don't take it that way. But if I'm going to start talking about these people and it's saying stuff about them that I don't like, it's mostly cosmetic stuff. It's mostly I don't like Tommy Lahren. I can't stand the girl's voice. I'm never going to like it. Her delivery is hideous, and I'm just not going to pay attention to anything she says because of that. Pardon me. And there's other people like that too, but this was different than that. This was something where Shapiro just tossed that out there, and it was hammered bam, this is what I think, and that's it, and I'm not explaining it, and I'm not saying why, I'm not supporting it, just boom. And I didn't like that. So, F Ben Shapiro, you guys can think what you want about it. I'm not telling anybody to go on follow the guy or anything like that, but that was my whole issue with Ben. So, let's get back to the scroll. So, yeah, again, JB, tell me, what is it you were admiring? I don't even know what you're talking about, man. But thanks. Doing a scroll. John Kinney, Lisa Stansbury, JB Poole, everybody who I've talked to already. Don't forget Hillary's coughing fits. Yeah. She's going to, I don't want to get into Hillary. I'll start yelling. Betty Hernandez, I have 6 kitties, 2 months old, that I take care of because their mama got killed by a dog. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to be a kitty and you're going to take care of me one day. I need to be adopted by somebody. All right, going on. Patrick Cleveland finally made another Laundry Live again. Thanks for getting in here. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? JB Poole, is it proper to refer to Obama as a black? Per Clinton and Jesse Jackson, Barry O was never down for the struggle. You know, you just, I mean, I get what you're saying, man, but you're just going to piss people off, like, speculating on that. I mean, obviously he wasn't. He was only half, so he's half white. Was he American? I think is a more poignant question. We're not going to get crazy into that because that just makes people's heads spin. Actually, that's every reason to get into that. But, yeah, I mean, they're going to count him as a black. Check it out. One flip. So, yeah, I mean, you know, they're not going to write him off. They're, whatever. I mean, Obama, yeah, they're going to count him as black. Amy Thompson, don't think a former president has ever been jailed. And TBH, in this socio-political climate, they ain't fixing to start with the first black one. Okay, but it's not the same political climate that it was historically. It shifted, but it shifted again. It shifted Obama's way, but now it's shifting away. And something like that, you know, there's a new sheriff in town. I've said that 100 times back from the start when I was telling people, pay attention and be patient. Shit's going to start happening. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Donald Trump, and it's going to be different, and it's got to be different. So that's that play. I mean, again, it just goes back to who knows what's this guy going to do, you know? And maybe that's a place where he blows it. I've definitely said this, and I still stand by it. If there isn't some sort of a reckoning and some sort of people put away, and obviously we know who we're talking about, it's not MAGA. You know, you're not done, man. You got 6 years to get that accomplished. And whether you know, I never specified Obama. My thing was with Hillary because I don't think really there's much of a shot at getting Obama. But I think Hillary's got to go. I'm not going to freak out, but you know how I feel about that. It's just different, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen. The other thing you want to think about too, and this came into play in 2012, is the fact that Donald Trump doesn't have to worry about getting reelected again once he gets reelected in 2020. And that changes the whole dynamic of things. And if you think about it, 2012, tell Vlad I'll have more flexibility after my election. That's exactly, he gave up the game right there. That was a very subtle game changer, but a game changer nonetheless. In 2020, and from 2020 on, Trump doesn't need to worry about anybody's votes anymore. And who knows what kind of bust out that's going to change. You know, the dynamic can change vastly then. So it's a sit and wait thing. You know, you got to just sit back and see what this guy's going to do and what everybody else is going to do. And we'll see how that goes. JB Poole, loved your meme of the redacted Mueller report pages. You know, it said it all. That's all they needed to have in the report. You had nothing on Trump. You had nothing on collusion. You had nothing on obstruction. That's all he had to put in that report. It was that sea-hag Hillary Clinton and the Obama crime family all along. Arrest these motherfuckers right now. Bob, there's your report. That's all I had to say. That's all you had to say. Didn't need to be 400 pages. You could have put it on a postcard and mailed it to us. Bessie Dotson, Wisconsin. I don't know what you're talking about. Bill Dolan, them's going to cheat and win. Come on, man. How are they going to cheat and win? All right. Brian Fanute, Trump already won 20. 24 looks great for us, too. 24 is up in the air, man. I'm still not locked in on anybody. It's still too early. And here's the other thing, too. 2024 is going to be interesting in another respect. In that 2024 is the year that the Democrats were shooting for anyway. And a big part of why they're in the disarray that they're in now with this friggin' circus sideshow of candidates, the Democratic Hunger Games, because none of these people thought they were going to have to run in 2020. Because they didn't think they were going to have to be ready until 2024 when Hillary Clinton left office. You remember that was a lock. That was 95% up until about 8 o'clock on election day that Hillary was going to be the president, and you knew she was going to be the president for the next 8 years. So they don't have anybody because they didn't think they were going to need anybody until 2024. Now, that's fun to laugh at, and it's fun to look at going into 2020 while these people are tripping all over themselves, and the freak show goes on, and it's going to be such a treat. But remember that they were planning for 2024 because that's when they thought they were going to need to run. So that could be a little, who knows? But that could be a subtle game-changing thing. I wouldn't count on 2024 being a lock at this point. A lot of things still got to happen. Catching a scroll. Let me check the time, see where we're at. Got a lot of people in here tonight. It says 41 now. I never know what the most amount of people is until tomorrow morning when I go and look at the numbers, because on the phone it just doesn't give me good data. We got 43 people in here now. That's high. That's like the highest I've seen it. We got about 10 minutes left to go. Sharon Mondry, there'll be massive voter fraud, but I still think he'll win. Of course there's going to be massive voter fraud, but that's the thing. We know it. And, when there's massive voter fraud and you have Mitt Romney as the opponent, the massive voter fraud wins because Mitt Romney has no balls. And he's a rhino, and he's a swamp publican establishment guy. He's not going to fight the system. If they're going to do that this time, you think Trump's not going to scream bloody murder and when that happens and do something about it? It's just everything's different now. This is going to be a different kind of election, and we got to start getting ready for it now. This is going to be a bloodbath, this election. Of course they're going to cheat. They already tried to cheat, bringing 20 million people into the country across the southern border. That's clearly cheating. Because you know what that was all about. We talked about this. Of course they're going to cheat. But you got a guy who's not going to brook that shit now. You got a guy who's not going to put up with that nonsense. And you got a team around him that's going to help him not put up with that nonsense. So, voter fraud is, yes, they're going to be better at it because they've had 4 more years. They've had a few practice elections where they cheated in Senate races, or they cheated in gubernatorial races. So they're better at it. They've got new techniques. They've got better ideas for cheating. They've improved their cheating techniques. But we're ready for that now. We're more prepared for that because we way more know they do it now. It's not this dark underbelly to the election process where everybody's like, that doesn't look right. These numbers don't look right. But you don't do anything about it. It's in the open now. It's been exposed, and we know what happens and they're going to still deny it. Go back to the 10 Commandments. But we know what's up now, and it's in the open. And when it's in the open, it's something that can be addressed better. So, I get it, man. Yeah, there's certainly going to be voter fraud, no question about it. But I think we're going to be better prepared to handle that as it comes this time. Okay, Dina Van Buskirk Kane. With everything Trump and his family has endured the past 2 years, if he does run, he gets my vote because I'll be in awe of his perseverance and love for his country. He actually gets, it goes on longer than that, but yeah, we get it. President Trump can outdo an Energizer Bunny from Betty Hernandez. Scrolling. Red hot economy and bull market will win it for Trump. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll read the rest of your comment. The Democrats can't understand what the economy is or what drives it. Forget talking about the stock market. Most don't have a 401k. You almost got to laugh. Like the things they're talking about doing. And, stop talking about this idiot Green Deal now. Who's been quiet? The circus monkey hasn't said shit for a week now. Is she all right? Like, somebody go check on her. Maybe she went back to the restaurant in the alley. She's been pretty quiet. So what's she been up to? Dan Hatton, holy crap! The wife walked in the room and didn't talk shit to me for listening to PCS. She's a Democrat. She must be exhausted from all the winning. You guys just gotta keep it cool, man. Like, I'm not getting in. I don't want to be the cause of any domestic disputes. Domestic disputes in the Hatton household. So don't be fighting on my account. Just turn the volume down. I wear some earphones or something. That's funny. Bessie Dotson, Easter. What's up with Easter? Happy Easter. I got you. Happy Easter to you too. I got a day off, man. You guys, you all know my gig. I work every day. I work like 65 hours a week. and I get 6 days off a year. And it's literally the 6 days that the store's closed. So it's Christmas Day, it's New Year's Day, it's 4th of July, Memorial Day, it's 4, Easter's 5, and there's one other one. I can't remember which one it is, like Memorial Day maybe, one of those other holidays. So this is the only 6 days off I get. And the truth of the matter is I don't even know what to do with myself with a day off. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just I was thinking about going down into the city and just doing a little exploring with the camera maybe. But if I decide to do that, I'll let you know ahead of time. Yeah, let's hit on that for a minute or two. Yeah, I know we're getting close to the end here, but pardon me. The Wednesday show. I know not a lot of you were there because I didn't hype it. You know, it was just a tryout. It was just something I'm trying to bring in a new aspect into the live stuff and open it up a little more. So we're really locked into the 6:30 to 7:30 Friday night thing because of my laundry. Because that's when I do my laundry. Laundry live. That's set in stone, sort of. Not necessarily, but for now, let's put it that way. And it just occurs to me that, you know, there's probably people who want to check it out but just can't because of circumstances. So getting to where I can do different things at different times could open things up to more people who might want to check in on what we're doing. And it was just something I wanted to try. Like I tried it a couple weeks ago with the thing with my son. It just didn't work out. We're still going to get him involved somehow. So I just wanted to do this thing Wednesday. And if you weren't here, it was literally, I went 30 minutes. I think we ended up going about 40 minutes. I've always contended that the city of White Plains has more Asian restaurants than friggin' Beijing. And it's just crazy. Like you could see the next one from the one you're at all day long. And what I did was, it wasn't interactive. It wasn't like PCS Laundry Live. It was just me going. And what I did was I contend that I could get myself in 30 minutes on foot in front of at least a dozen Asian restaurants in the city of White Plains. And I don't know what the final count ended up being. I think we ended up hitting like 14 or 15. And it was just me talking, and it was just an experiment. Like I said, we didn't have a lot of people in it. It actually was more than I expected, but it was just trying things out. And I haven't gotten bad feedback on it. And I will say, somebody said in the comments, like, stop begging for it to be bad. And you know, no big deal. You know, I'm not like upset or anything, but that's not what I was doing. When I was saying stuff like, you know, you gotta let me know if it sucks, you gotta let me know if it sucks. Because I need to know. I don't have time to develop something on just speculation. If something's bad, I gotta know about it right away so I don't dedicate more time to it. If something's good, I want to know that too. You know, I kind of got a feel for that. But I think we had a good time. I had fun. I got a good workout. I probably walked about 2 miles. I hit my everybody remembers how many we hit. Anybody who was there remembers how many we hit. And I will tell you that David King that I was bitching about at the end, that I thought closed down and was going to cost me when I was at 11. I was like, we just need this one more. And then we got there and he was gone. He was there. I passed him like a block earlier. I took a picture of it, but I never posted it. But so let me know what you thought about that, please. Anybody's got any comments on that? I got the next one planned. We're going to do that Comic-Con. Basically what it's going to be is this. And the working title is PCS Visual Radio. I'll come up with something better, or I'll maybe just stick with that. And I'm just going to do like these kamikaze guerrilla like walkarounds. I'll give you notice sometimes. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes it'll just pop up. And just do a show, man. Just like say, hey, I'm here. Come and see. Let's chat. Let's just hang out and see how those things go. The Comic-Con's going to be hilarious. You know, there's any number of things we can do. I mean, like I said, right here with the federal courthouse, there's always protests and stuff going on here during the summer. There's a lot of stuff goes on in White Plains, so we can just go mock or enjoy. You know, it doesn't have to always be bad stuff that we're picking on. It can be a lot of different things, but let me know what your thoughts were on that. Most of the feedback's been pretty good, so I think we're going to move on forward with it and try some new stuff. We're definitely going to at least do the Comic-Con because I can't pass up an opportunity to sit on the steps of this arena and just make fun of adults coming into a place dressed up like Spider-Man and Captain America and whatnot. So that's a given. That's going to be next weekend, and I'll get you a time as we get a little closer. I got to check and see what the hours. I'm not going in because it's $27 for a ticket, and that's just stupid. But we'll sit on the front steps and we'll make fun of people in their comic book costumes. That should be a lot of fun. We'll get some big fat guys dressed up like the Flash and stuff. I mean, who could ask for anything more? Okay, quick time check. 7:30. So we're just at about an hour. I started a couple minutes late, so I'm going to start a walk back. over toward the laundromat now. Something always pops up at the last minute that I end up talking for another 10 minutes on. So let me just get one last scroll before I start moving. See if there's anything. Michelle Barr, hi there. We're done in 2 minutes, so hi back and bye. Dan Hatton, Shapiro's voice is the same way. And, I'm not going to beat up on the guy. I'm not a fan. I followed him for a while. He's a bright guy. I'm not saying he's stupid. He's a very smart guy. And he makes great points. And then somebody, I said something about it today on some, I don't even remember which board it was or something. And I said basically what I just said to you guys tonight. And somebody was like, well, why don't you debate him? He'll kick your ass. I'm like, yeah, okay. Because that's what he does. That's not what I do. Of course Ben Shapiro kicks my ass in a debate. How about we Indian leg wrestle? Because I bet I could take the little shit in that. All right? How about we throw the discus? I can throw the discus farther than Ben Shapiro. So yeah, Ben Shapiro's going to beat me in a debate. It doesn't mean anything. He's still an ass, man. That was just a stupid thing to say. And I just don't. I used to follow him. I don't follow him anymore. I'll read his stuff once in a while. The Daily Wire. I don't like the guys he has working there that much. I just don't like the whole thing. He's undeniably a bright guy. He undeniably has some very, very good points. But you throw that out the window when you say dumb shit without supporting it and without quantifying it for people. And I think that's what happened there. And that's what annoyed me with that. One more scroll and I'm going to walk and say goodnight. Shapiro tweeted this week a fake tweet from Trump saying the football team should put out the fire. Wow, I didn't see that because you know what? That would have made me even madder than what I saw happen today. That's just irresponsible. So, anyway, we're going to start heading back and get the clothes out of the laundry. Hang on, I forgot something. Bessie Dotson, I almost left your lighter. Again, sweetheart, that was so nice of you to do that. Send me the lighter in the mail. That was just a wonderful thing. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And as always, thank you all for joining me here while my laundry's cooking on Friday night just to listen to me talk. I don't understand it. Why you do it. I guess there's something that keeps you coming back. I got you guys to watching Apple Rot for 3 months last summer. Yo, anniversary of Apple Silkskin's Discovery should be coming up soon. And I got to scroll back. When I go home tonight, I'm going to scroll back and see that. We should have like a little celebration day. Because I think that was either April or May when we first discovered the Apple. Those of you who are new, you think I'm insane. I'm going to make fun of people. This was a year ago. We had like 1,000 people on PCS. So most of you weren't here during the Apple Stillskin days. Apple Stillskin I was walking home from work on my normal route one day, and I had noticed that there was a green apple sitting on just like a ledge in front of this chemical distribution center on the industrial corridor like I live just north of. And the next day it was there, and the next day it was there. So for 3 weeks, this apple was there, and nobody was taking it away. And nobody, no animals ate it. It was just the weirdest thing. So one day I took a picture of it, I posted it. And then the next day I took another picture of it and I posted it. And then so on for a couple of days. And we didn't really talk about it. But the thing is, it caught on. It became like a character on Planet Common Sense. And we had a contest and we named it. Then one day things took a sad turn. It got a brown spot on it. And then the next day the brown spot got a little bigger. And during the natural progression of things, the apple began to rot. And long story short, I got those 1,000 people to watch an apple rot on a ledge of a business for 3 months. So I don't know, man. It was that's the magic, I guess, of PCS, whatever you want to call it. Then one day it just disappeared. It was halfway. It was opening up and oozing and turning brown. And we named it. We had a contest to name the apple, and we came up with Apple Stillskin. And the funniest thing was, if we waited a little longer, I think it would have been such a logical. I'm not looking at these 3 girls' asses just in case anybody knows. It just happened to be the way that the camera was pointing, but obviously I noticed it. But let me stop. We should have named it John McCain because it got the brown spot right about the same time John McCain's head started rotting, and that would have been a lot of fun. I was like, man, if this apple disappears on the same day McCain dies, that's a sign right there. So, I'm turning back. You know what? Because I'm gonna go in and get something to eat. But, all right, so I'm distracted now. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for your undying support of Planet Common Sense on Facebook, PCS Laundry Live on Friday nights, and quote-unquote PCS Visual Radio whenever it pops up. Couldn't do without you. One last thing, and man, you know, I've said this before and it didn't work out. I'm telling you, we're looking at T-shirts probably by June. So anybody's interested in T-shirts, keep that in mind. It's just going to be your basic shirt. It's going to be whatever, like $20. I'll let you know the info on that. It's not done yet, but by June, we're going to have some T-shirts out for you. So wrapping it up for tonight. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter to everybody. Oh, man. What are we going to do Sunday for PCS Sunday brunch? I guess I got to do it from home. That'll be weird. But maybe we could do that, or maybe we'll just take it off. We'll play that by ear as we go. And that's that. Everybody have a great weekend. Love you guys. Thanks again for coming out. And I am out.